Back with more Buffy. This is episode 7 of season 5, and I'm very excited to carry on. Last episode, we had a big focus on Tara, and we kind of found out that she thought, at least, that she was like half demon, and it explained a lot about her actions in the past, and it really addressed the fact that she was feeling a bit disconnected from the main group. But I think that's going to start changing now, so that was really cool. I'm glad we finally got like an episode kind of focused on that, because I'd wanted that for a while. And yeah, I'm very, very excited to see where we're going to go from here. It seems like we have a more connected unit of Scoobies now that Tara's kind of finding a place in there. So maybe that's going to help when they have to take down this beast woman. So yeah, very excited to see what's going to happen next. So let's get into the next one. What? Vampire Brian May's not very nice.
Are you disinfecting something? Oh, mine. Some nail polish experiments are doomed before they even begin.
I mean, that was good of her, I think.
I'll take tonight's patrol.
By yourself?
Just to sleep.
Do me a favor. You take the gang along with.
Okay. Hey, Riley! What's the, all about?
Slayer called, blah blah, great protector, blah blah, scary battles, blah blah, oops.
I like when we're going back to this.
Where are the details? Why didn't the Watchers keep fuller accounts of it? The journals just stop.
I suppose if they're anything like me, they just find the whole subject too...
Unseemly? Damn. Love you, but you Watchers are such prigs sometimes.
painful. I was going to say.
Aww.
What do you want?
Slayers. You killed 2 of them.
Oh yeah, he did. Fuck.
You're gonna show me how.
Ooh, I like that. That's cool.
Were you born this big a pain in the ass?
And what can I tell you, baby? I've always been bad. Luminous. Oh, no.
We're getting Spike flashbacks?
Better.
I'm on board.
Please, it's not finished.
Don't be shy.
Aww.
My heart expands. 'Tis grown effulgent, inspired by your beauty, effulgent. Effulgent.
Oh.
You're nothing to me, William.
That's a bit harsh.
You're beneath me.
Rude. Well, I'm rooting for him to turn into a vampire and kill them all. Oh, he was such a cinnamon roll.
Chloe!
Oh, he was crying.
And I wonder what possible catastrophe came crashing down from heaven.
Something.
Effulgent. Do you want to?
Don't you want me, baby?
Ow!
Eh.
Ow! 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 Ow!
There we go.
We can kill him just as dead in the morning.
Well, good.
I had to get myself a gang.
Perhaps it's my advancing years that makes me so forgetful, William.
I think our boys are going to fight.
The King of Cups expects a picnic. But this is not his birthday.
Good point.
If I can't teach you, maybe someday an angry crowd will. That, or the Slayer.
What's a Slayer?
Surprise.
Obsessed. Become a vampire. Got nothing to fear. Nothing but one goal. That's you, honey.
Back then,
I think he means that a bit differently now. This is so cool. But when does he bleach his hair? That's the real question. And there we go.
Goes with Mama. Boots.
Aw.
Sorry, love. Have a taste.
With the corpse right there. Have some class.
My little spike just killed himself, Slayer.
congratulations. I guess that makes you one of us. Don't be so glum, mate. Well, you tell it one Slayer snuffs, another one rises. I think there's a new chosen one getting all chosen as we speak. I'll tell you what.
Oh man. Squad.
The problem with you, Summers, is you've gotten so good, you're starting to think you're immortal.
Not really. I just know I can handle myself.
Then how do you explain this?
Oh. Oh.
We ought to put this in a museum.
Riley.
You know what they put in museums? Mostly dead things.
Yeah. As quips go, that wasn't bad, but... Damn. Oh!
Give it to me.
That was extra.
You're not ready to know.
I'm ready.
Okay then. We're like this.
Oh my god.
She was cunning, resourceful. Oh, did I mention? I could have danced all night with that one.
You think we're dancing?
I could have danced all night.
Every day you wake
Yeah.
up, it's the same bloody question.
Very well edited.
The day I die. Part of you wants it. Not only to stop the fear of uncertainty, because you're just a little bit in love with it.
Is he talking about himself there?
She really wanted it. Every Slayer has a death wish.
Oh!
Even you.
Oh, she has died before.
The only reason you've left as long as you have
That's his jacket!
is you've got ties to the world.
Oh!
Come on. One good swing, you know you want to.
I mean it.
So do I. Give it me good, Buffy. Do it.
Spike.
Yeah, he wants it.
What the hell are you doing? It wouldn't be you, Spike. It would never be you.
Damn.
You're beneath me.
Oh! I thought they were paralleling it, and then she said that. Oh, don't cry. Is he crying? Oh. Not crying anymore.
It'll hurt like hell for about 2 hours. She'll be dead just a little longer than that.
Fine. Why don't you push her away?
But I did, Pet. I did it for you.
Ah.
You keep
This-
punishing me.
Their breakup.
Carrying on with creatures like this.
You guys obviously have a thing going on here. I should take off.
Yeah,
Maybe,
why
yeah.
don't you do that?
Well,
You can't blame
you
me.
can see why he makes her feel horny. Ah.
I look at you. All I see is the Slayer.
Oh, I think she knew before he did.
I'm a staying overnight at the hospital for observation. I'm getting a CAT scan.
Oh, fuck.
It's only one night.
Oh, sweetheart. He's not going to be able to do it because he's going to see her crying.
What's wrong? Is there something I can do?
Oh. Oh. Should I love that as much as I did? I don't know. Damn. Okay, that was an amazing episode. I absolutely loved it from start to finish. Everything they did with it I thought was just so well done. I loved the focus on Spike we got a lot of. I've wanted an episode for a while now, like where Spike was like involved in like the whole thing. And we even got Spike flashbacks, which is nuts. And we saw, you know, the origins of him becoming a vampire, and we saw the starts of his relationship with Drew, and the end of it as well, just before Lover's Walk, I assume. And yeah, we got Angelus and Darla are in the flashbacks as well, which is pretty cool to see them cross over. It was weird to have them in like flashback sequences and then not have them in present day stuff as well. That was kind of bizarre. More so with Angelus than Darla, because we've had her in flashbacks before but not in present day Angel. But that was really, really cool to see them and kind of get flashbacks with them. That was cool that they kind of brought them over to Buffy for those flashbacks for Spike. It was just so well done. I thought like the landscapes, or like the settings in like China and New York, I thought that was pretty well done as well. Obviously it was a bit easier with the New York one because it was kind of all set inside like a subway car or whatever. But I think they got the effect across really, really well, like the locations and stuff. I thought it looked really, really cool. So yeah, all of that with the flashbacks I thought was really, really cool that we kind of got those, and in the context of Spike telling Buffy how he killed the two Slayers. That was very clever how they kind of, you know, very organically revealed these flashbacks through like a plot means, because Buffy nearly kind of got killed by just a random vampire that Riley managed to take down, you know? But I think she must be very distracted and everything with like what's going on with Joyce. As we saw at the end, you know, it's going to be a big burden on her, and sometimes you can work too hard, you know, and study too hard, and I think maybe she's in danger of doing that. So that's probably getting to her as well, and just, it was only a matter of time, and everyone slips up from time to time in anything, even if you're good at something, you know, you're not going to be perfect every single time. So I think it's only natural that something like that could happen to Buffy at some point, you know. So yeah, how they kind of set it all up in that way with the flashbacks I thought was very, very well done with the plot of Buffy going to Spike for answers. That really, really well done. I thought that was very, very clever. And I liked that last little sequence really with Buffy and Spike, not right at the end, but when they were like splicing to and fro the fight with the second Slayer, and then when Spike and Buffy were fighting, and more sparring than fighting for them. I thought that was very well edited. And I like that we still had Spike speaking to Buffy while in like the flashbacks, and we saw that he got like his coat from that second Slayer. That's really cool. I really like that. And we saw like the various stages of him becoming William and then Spike, and then the Spike we know and love / hate depending on who you are. I know a few people in the comments of my videos don't like Spike. Like Spike, like this video. But yeah. The way that was all spliced together I thought was very, very well done. I really, really liked that a lot. And how they paralleled that woman with the William saying that he's beneath her to Buffy saying that to him, and he kind of had a similar reaction both times because he was in love with both those women, I suppose. And it was nice seeing that side to Spike, you know, that deep down there is still a lot of William in him, that kind of vulnerability, and the emotional side, William's still in there, and maybe he doesn't want to admit that entirely. Like he said to Buffy, you know, I've always been bad, but then they instantly did a flashback that showed that wasn't really the case. And the fact that he even formed a foundation with Drew in the first place was because he recognised her using the same word that he'd used in his poem. I thought that was really, really cool as well, and that was kind of how that bond was formed, at least on his side. You know, Drusilla clearly had her eye caught by him, obviously a bit earlier, probably when I think he might have bumped into them. Was that the people he bumped into? So I did think it was kind of like, oh, that was a strange wig of that guy he bumped into, but that was probably Angelus. I'm assuming it was them, I think it was. But I didn't put two and two together until we actually saw them. So yeah, I thought that was a really cool way of kind of showing how that bond was formed, and he was like, oh yes, I want this, but of course he didn't know he was getting turned into a vampire, but still, he rolled with it, and that's what counts. And yeah, I like how they kind of readdressed the thing that we set up in the start of the season with Buffy wanting to finding out more about the Slayers and stuff. They really kind of came back to that plot, with her and Giles kind of coming up to a loose end. That's when she had this idea with Spike. And we saw like 2 previous Slayers that Spike killed. That was really, really cool. I hope we see a lot more of like the Slayer lineage in future. I think it would be like a really cool thing to explore, like get a guidebook to all the Slayers, I don't know. I really, really loved that, seeing them, you know, fighting and losing to Spike. I mean, you could do like spin-off show after spin-off show, couldn't you, about every single Slayer, but Buffy is like the Slayer, isn't she, really? So of course she'd have the show about her, but I still like that we're kind of seeing loads of different Slayers. Like we got, obviously in Faith, season 3, we saw one, Kendra in season 2, we had Restless, we had like the first Slayer, and we're getting a few with this one as well, obviously Buffy herself. I like that we've kind of got a nice little roster of Slayers, past and present now, but I'm hoping they kind of continue to expand that. I just really, really liked seeing them. I got quite a buzz out of that, and a buzz out of Spike flashbacks really, and seeing the days of him like hanging out with Drusilla and Angelus and Darla, and it was cool seeing all them again. So yeah, that was really, really cool. I really, really enjoyed that quite a bit. And obviously we just saw Drusilla in was it the previous Angel? I think it was. Was she in the last Angel? Or maybe the one before that. Yeah, the one before that, episode 5 of Angel. So we only just saw her recently then, so the fact that maybe the actress just became available again so they could do this episode, maybe that's why we haven't gotten Spike flashbacks for this long. Maybe the actress just couldn't come back to do any, and if you're going to do Spike flashbacks you kind of need Drusilla, wouldn't you? So I liked seeing her again, seeing their relationship kind of develop and fall apart with that demon with the big antlers. That was funny. Because he obviously mentioned that, I think, in Lover's Walk, that she like left him for Chaos Demon or something. I can't remember exactly what it was. So yeah, everything with that was great. The parallels they did between William and that Cecily, I think her name was, and then Spike and Buffy as well. That was very, very cool. I really liked that. And yeah, I felt really bad for William, poor guy. I think that's, you know, down to James Masters as an actor. The fact that he can portray such a different kind of character in William, and have such a innocence to him and a vulnerability, and yet it was so natural that he would become Spike. I thought that was very interesting and very well done. I would have liked maybe another flashback in between the one when he gets turned and the one when we see him like, oh, I'm called Spike now, you should do well to remember that, mate, and all that. But yeah, I would have liked something maybe there as like more of like a transitional thing, but maybe we'll get that one day, I don't know. Obviously it's like a 42-minute episode, they can't have loads of stuff in there, which is fair enough, but I did really, really like seeing the transformation of William to Spike. Something I've always wanted but never really thought I'd properly get, I guess. I don't know why I never thought I'd get it, but it's really, really cool that we finally got that. It was amazingly done. And yeah, seeing Harmony very briefly as well at the end there, I always like it when she pops up. I've started to love her more and more. Particularly this season, I think she's really kind of come into her own quite a bit. She's been quite funny. That scene, I think it was episode 4, with like she tries to start smoking when the guy's operating on Spike, and he points out the no smoking sign. And she's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." That's still one of my funniest moments this season for me. I absolutely love that. I think the actress did such a good job at that. But yeah, I like it when she pops up, and the fact that she was kind of relaying it to Spike that he's not capable of killing Buffy, and he was kind of blinded to that with anger for a little second, because obviously I think what Buffy said would have cut really, really deep to him, because he probably remembers that encounter all too well with Cecily, or whatever her name was. But then he saw her crying at the end, and it all just went away. He just threw away the gun and comforted her, and she like didn't punch him in the face for it. So maybe that's a bit of progress. I really liked that last scene. I thought it was genuinely touching to see that. Obviously Buffy's going through hell, quite literally in some cases she has, but also in just a personal life that Spike doesn't even know of yet, with like Joyce and everything. That makes me nervous. I don't like that one bit. But I do like that we're seeing a lot more of Joyce this season, that's for sure. She wasn't in season 4 a lot, but I think we've gotten quite a bit of her so far this season. I really liked her showing up again, even though I'm very concerned about where they're going with that. I feel like they're doing it as like, this is one thing Buffy can't just stake, you know? This is like a real life kind of obstacle that Buffy can't face, being the Slayer. This is one time where being the Slayer is completely obsolete. She can't make her mum feel better. I feel like that's what they're doing with it, which is kind of an interesting thing. So I feel like Buffy's already gone through quite a few challenges this season, with like episode 1 that she had to fight the vampire in Dracula, and then obviously she kind of felt a weakness with him as well, and he drank from her and stuff like that. And we've seen the Beast Woman be like, "Oh, a Slayer, how common." I feel like this is, so far they've been saying, you know, maybe it's not the be all and end all, but it is cracked up to be being the Slayer, and there's still a lot of curses that come with that, and I feel like maybe that's what the Joyce thing's about as well, kind of feeding into that kind of theme. Look, I'm already preparing for my 3.5 hour review for season 5. Look, so I feel like that's what they're going with it, but it still makes me nervous that they need to do that. And also Dawn. I really liked Dawn in this episode. I like that she covered for Buffy when Riley was patching her up. I thought that was pretty cool. So yeah, that was good of her, and I enjoyed her little snippets we got with her. The same with the rest of the Scoobies. We didn't see a hell of a lot of them really. It was more just them like following Riley around in the graveyard, being more comic relief. But they're good at that, so it was nice. But I did miss having my cinnamon roll on screen a lot. Poor Willow, she wasn't really in it. But they still had, you know, a few funny moments together with like eating the chips, and Anya's little like walk was funny. Willow's hat was iconic, as they always are. So yeah, I liked all of that with them, and then obviously Riley. They kind of went back to it near the start, I think, when he was patching her up and said, "Oh, I'll do the patrol tonight, don't worry." And Buffy kind of insisted he didn't go on his own. I thought he was going to anyway, but then obviously they appeared. But I was like, "Oh, we're going through this again." She thinks maybe that, you know, he's not capable on his own, and that's going to feed into his insecurities and stuff like that. And I think he kind of acted against that in a big way, when obviously he said, "Oh, we'll come back and get him in the morning," when he found that vampire, and then obviously he staked one and then blew the rest up of his own free will. He just went back anyway. Bit reckless, but I'm kind of interested in where they're going to go with that. So it's nice that they kind of seem to be giving Riley a story beyond just Buffy's boyfriend, which I feel like they never quite escaped the trap of when it came to Angel on the show in the first 3 seasons. Aside from obviously the Angelus thing, but that was still a very personal kind of thing, because it was Buffy's kind of boyfriend who turned evil. With this, obviously, it kind of spurned from Buffy having a boyfriend, and kind of there being a distance between them, and her maybe wanting him to be safe, and that's feeding into kind of his masculinity and insecurities about that, I think. So it is kind of delved from being the boyfriend, but it still feels a lot more independent than I think anything Angel had in terms of storylines on the show. Obviously they've changed that in a big way in his own show, which is fantastic. But it's nice to see them kind of do that with Riley as well. And he's getting a bit reckless, I think. So we'll see where they go with that, but I'm kind of interested in what that is all going to be about. And yeah, I think that's basically everything I had to say. But I loved this episode so much. I loved the flashbacks and everything we got with that, how they paralleled that to the Spike and Buffy situation. The Riley stuff I actually found quite interesting as well. I like Joyce and Dawn always showing up as always as well. Giles didn't get a whole of a lot to do either, but he still helped out when he could. But this is the episode that they focused on Spike a lot on, which I'm never going to complain about, and we have plenty of time to focus on the rest of them, you know. And it was nice to kind of have an episode again where Spike was in it. Basically, every single act of the episode, Spike was there. Which we haven't really had, I don't think, this season. So I'm glad we finally got that, and that was really, really cool to see. And I just absolutely loved all the flashbacks we got, and the plot in general of Buffy kind of nearly slipping up and going to Spike for answers about the 2 Slayers he killed. Really, really cool. A great kind of idea for an episode, and it's almost like, how the hell did they not do this sooner? Like, show these previous 2 Slayers. Such an interesting backstory for Spike that I almost kind of had forgotten about, that he'd killed these 2 Slayers. And then that final scene as well, I thought was so touching, with Spike kind of trying to comfort Buffy, and her not punching him in the face. Very sweet. Yeah, fantastic episode. I absolutely loved it, and I can't wait to see where we're going to go next with this. Maybe Beast Woman's going to come back in full force in the next one, or the next couple, because she obviously wasn't in this one. We'll have to wait and see, but I'm excited. I absolutely loved this episode so much, and I can't wait to see where they're going to go from there. But I'm going to have to wait a bit, because I've got 2 Angel reactions now. So yeah, my next reaction will be Angel, episode 7 of season 2. So yeah, great episode, really, really good. One of my favourites so far this season, I would say. If not, maybe my favourite. I did really like the last one. I liked Real Me quite a bit. I liked Out of My Mind. Yeah, it's definitely up there. It's my favourites so far this season for sure. Maybe even number 1. But I've got plenty of time to kind of rank them. So yeah, absolutely love this episode so much. I really adored it. And until my next reaction, thanks for watching.